What are the requirements for Night Sword? 10 mining, and be unafraid of level 57 Ice Warriors. I think the rewards for that are pretty good too. My smithing level is still 1. The rewards for Night Sword are, I think it gets you from level 1 to like 15 or something. 12,725, which is substantially more than my 25 mining, so yes, it's going to get me higher than 25, I can tell you that much. Perhaps we should do this quest. We definitely have the mining requirement, and the reason why I got mining up in the first place was so I could do a smithing moneymaker to get me some starting cash. If you remember, at the beginning of this video, I said I wanted to train my magic so I could get teleports to all the major cities, but boy, we got a little sidetracked, which I think is part of playing Iron Man. You're supposed to get sidetracked. 272 coins. Wow, what a deal. Ice Warrior's max hit is a 6, so I think he'll probably be okay. As long as we bring some pretty decent food. These guys have always been styling beyond belief. Talk to Squire. Hello, I am the Squire to Sir Vaven. And how is life as a Squire? Well, Sir Vaven is a good guy to work for. However, I'm in a spot of trouble today. I've gone and lost Sir Vaven's sword. I can make a new sword if you like. Thanks for the offer. I'd be surprised if you could, though. The thing is, this sword is a family heirloom. It has been passed down through Vaven's family for 5 generations. It was originally made by the Imkando dwarves, who were a particularly skilled tribe of dwarven smiths. I doubt anyone could make it in the style they do. So would these dwarves make another one? I'm not 100% sure if the Imkando tribe exists anymore. I should think Reldo, the palace librarian in Varrock, will know. He has done a lot of research on the races of Runescape. I don't suppose you could try and track down the Imkando dwarves for me. I've got so much work to do. Okay, I'll give it a go. Thank you very much. As I say, the best place to start should be with Reldo. Back to Varrock we walk! Oh yes, we need to make a red berry pie. Pies. Red berry pie is 10 cooking, okay. So we'll have to get our cooking up a tiny bit too. I'm reading the quest guide now. It says that I need 4 iron bars, and that's going to be difficult to come by with 1 smithing. My options are killing dwarves, killing pirates, killing white knights, which is not happening, and there's a wilderness spawn. So if we go to level 18 wilderness, I have no risk of death other than NPCs, so if I just bring some food, I should be fine. The wilderness is a pretty open area for me, considering that I have nobody else on my game other than me. The wilderness is only scary to NPCs. The spawn is by the wilderness graveyard, so that's actually pretty close to where I am right now. Yeah, just north from Edgeville. Oh, Reldo! Oh, I like those big-ass trees. These are gone in the game today, right? I really like those trees. Those look awesome. It's the Varrock Castle. There's a guy under the stairs here. This is where I was going to train my splashing magic. He's in the library, which any good RuneScape player knows is back here. Reldo, what up? What do you know about the Imkando dwarves? The Imkando dwarves, you say? Ah, yes, for many hundreds of years, they were the world's most skilled smiths. They used secret smithing knowledge passed down from generation to generation. Unfortunately, about a century ago, the once thriving race was wiped out during the barbarian invasion of that time. So are there any Imkando left at all? I believe a few of them survived, but with the bulk of their population destroyed, their numbers have dwindled even further. I believe I remember a couple living in Asgarnia, near the cliffs on the Asgarnian southern peninsula, but they do tend to keep to themselves. They tend not to tell people that they're the descendants of the Imkando, which is why people think that the tribe has died out totally, but you may well have more luck talking to them if you bring them some Red berry pie. They really like red berry pie. The Night Sword. Reldo couldn't give me much information about the Imkando, except a few live on the southern peninsula of Asgarnia. They dislike strangers and love red berry pies. Okay, so there are two things I can do here. I need to train my cooking up to 10 so that I can cook a red berry pie. And then I also need 2 iron bars. I just don't know what the best option for me is. Probably fishing shrimps and then cooking the shrimps. So I will withdraw 10 coins. Or no, I can go in the other way to Alcarid. I'll bring my net. We're going fishing. This is why teleports would be so helpful. Even just the home teleport in standard RuneScape would be so fast. Oh yes, back here, just by the bank. I can pop up a calculator. I don't know how many I'm gonna burn, so we could reasonably expect that it's gonna be more than the calculator says, but let's see. If we want to get from level 6 to level 10, we're gonna need to only cook 22 shrimps. Wow. I think we'll do 2 inventories then, assuming that we'll probably burn less than half of them because we already have 6 cooking. Maybe we'll do 3 inventories just to be safe. Plus, cooked shrimp are not bad. We can use them to run away from the ice warriors. Alright, now I've fished enough shrimps. Now I'm gonna go get some flour for pie dough. I'm thinking I'm gonna have enough ingredients for 3 pies just in case I fail 2 times. I wonder if you can do 3 flour at the same time. It would make sense. I'm sure that the mill is capable of handling more than 1 piece of wheat. I'm a bad citizen. I did not close the gate. Alright, we did all 3. Hopefully we have enough. 1 pot. 2 pots. 3 pots of flour. Very good. Oh, only a bucket works, huh? Frick. Maybe I can pass the other 2 to the bucket. Maybe that'll work. We want pastry dough? Yeah, pastry dough. No. Okay, only a bucket works. So these 2 are not useful for us. Apparently you only need 1 red berry to make a red berry pie. But I do need some pie shells. Or not pie shells. I need a pie dish. Which I can pick up in the Varrock Castle, apparently. 1 pastry dough. 2 pastry dough. 3 pastry dough. We're going to do our cooking at the Varrock East Bank. Lumbridge is a lot less useful without a bank at the top. You gotta go on quite the journey, and then it's up to the wilderness to collect some iron bars. Alright, I'm gonna break the magic. Yes, this part of the commentary is recorded after the fact. I was talking to my friends watching GSL Code S. Season 1. Group B. It was pretty good. If you like watching StarCraft, I would recommend watching TY vs. Stats. It's a pretty decent set. I just cooked all these shrimps. No big deal. Got my cooking up to 12. Cooking was my first 99 in normal OSRS. That was the first 99 I ever got was cooking. I was glad I caught so many shrimp in the first place too, because I did burn quite a few, and they came in pretty handy for food afterward. I'm still using them right now. This is days after this recording. Next, I had to go get the red berries for the red berry pie. There's a spawn just outside of Varrock by the mining quarry. In between the pickups of the respawn of the red berries, I was going to make 3 pies, so I needed 3 red berries. I mined a little bit of iron ore at the same time for maximum EHP. For people that don't know, EHP is efficient hours played. That's how the hardcore RuneScapers compete against each other. After I had my red berries, I needed some pie tins or pie shells. What are they called? Pie dish. That's the name. Pie dish. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm really liking playing Iron Man, is that you actually have to learn where things are located on the map. There's a pie dish in the Varrock Castle in the kitchen, so you can walk over there and grab it. I forgot to bring the supplies. I know that there's a range over here, and I could have just started cooking, but I had to backtrack to the bank one more time. I successfully cooked all 3 red berry pies, and I'm actually glad that I made so many even though I didn't really need them, because each bite of a red berry pie heals 5 HP and those ice warriors do hit 6s. Next, I just walk out of town in Varrock to the wilderness. Again, this is a private server. I have no chance of getting PK'd unless there's some crazy situation where someone logs on to my local network and connects to my game. There's no wilderness ditch back in 2006. You could just walk across. Still, it gives you a warning, like, be careful, other people can attack you out here. But no ditch you have to actually jump across. You can just walk straight out of town. That iron bar spawn is over by the wilderness graveyard. I showed a little screenshot of it in the last video. They take a little bit to respawn, so I sat out here in between the trees to pick up my iron bar and walked back down into Edgeville. Edgeville doesn't have the furnace, which makes it quite a bit worse of a location. The Edgeville furnace is an awesome place to do your smithing. Then I just headed down to Thurgo the dwarf to give him his red berry pie. Would you like some red berry pie? You see Thurgo's eyes light up. I'd never say no to a red berry pie. They're great stuff. You hand over the pie. Thurgo eats the pie. Thurgo pats his stomach. By Guthix, that was a good pie. Anyone who makes pie like that has to be alright. Can you make me a special sword? Well, after bringing me my favorite food, I guess I should give it a go. What sort of sword is it? I need you to make a sword for one of Falador's knights. He had one which was passed down through 5 generations, but his squire has lost it, so we need an identical one to replace it. A knight's sword, eh? Well, I'd need to know exactly how it looked before I can make a new one. All the Faladane knights used to have swords with unique designs according to their position. Could you bring me a picture or something? I'll go and ask his squire and see if I can find one. I walked back to Falador. On my way, I picked up a new iron shield from the Falador shield shop, and then I talked to the squire. So how are you doing getting a sword? I've found an Imcando dwarf, but he needs a picture of the sword before he can make it. A picture, eh? The only one I can think of is in a small portrait of Sir Vaven's father. Sir Vaven keeps it in a cupboard in his room, I think. Okay. I'll try and get that then. Please don't let him catch you. He mustn't know what happened. Sir Vaven's room is on the 3rd floor. It's pretty easy if you just go in through the east entrance, climb up the stairs, and then go up the inside stairs. You have to make sure that Vaven is staring at a wall or something when you're searching the cupboard. I messed up the first time but got it after that. From there, I had to walk back down to Asgarnia to talk to Thurgo about that sword. I have found a picture of the sword I would like you to make. You give the portrait to Thurgo. Thurgo studies the portrait. Okay, you'll need to get me some stuff in order for me to make this. I'll need 2 iron bars to make the sword to start with. I'll also need an ore called blurite. It's useless for making actual weapons for fighting, with except crossbows, but I'll need some as decoration for the hilt. It is a fairly rare sort of ore. The only place I know where to get it is under this cliff here, but it is guarded by a very powerful ice giant. Most of the rocks in that cliff are pretty useless and don't contain much of anything, but there's definitely some blurite in there. You'll need a bit of mining experience to be able to find it. Okay, I'll go and find them then. From there, with my remaining red berry pies and some shrimps, and my new iron shield, I entered the cliff, I guess they want to call it, under the cliff. I think that these are more tunnels, but yeah. You run across some pirates or thugs and then hobgoblins, and I let my run recharge up for a while. There's a rock right by the entrance, but I didn't want to do that one because of the positioning of the ice warriors. But over in the eastern corner of the cave, I found some blurite. I did get smacked for a 6. It is single-way combat, so I don't have to worry about another ice warrior stacking on top of me. And with my pies and my shrimps, I was totally fine. Then I headed back to Thurgo. About that sword. How are you doing finding those sword materials? I have them right here. You give the blurite ore and 2 iron bars to Thurgo. Thurgo starts to make the sword. Thurgo hands you a sword. Thank you very much. Just remember to call in with more pie sometime. Then I just carried my new blurite sword to the squire to finish the quest. I have retrieved your sword for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was seriously worried I would have to own up to Sir Vaven. You give the sword to the squire. Knight's sword completed. 12,725 smithing XP, which got me from level 1 to level 29, which is pretty impressive. Now that I had a decent-ish smithing level, I went and made all of the bronze bars that I had saved up in my bank, and all of the iron bars from the iron ore that I had collected. Then again, I walked to Varrock to use the anvil there, making an assortment of iron armor for myself. I was just low enough that I couldn't make the plate bodies, but I did buy an iron plate body from the Varrock smith. With my full iron gear, I was now geared up to go and kill some cows.